comes into your mind when you hear the word rejection? It's a heavy word. Yes. This is the sense of being unwanted, the pain of being isolated. As human beings, it's our nature to desire to be loved, to desire to belong, be it in a family or a group, but it's natural for us to desire to feel loved and to feel wanted. When the opposite happens, which is rejection, it can damage our life. Rejection can come from different people in different situations and in different stages of our lives. This can be from our family, maybe one parent, both parents, siblings, colleagues, society, church, friends, a spouse, a boyfriend. And the impact, it's different depending with it's coming from who, at what point of our lives, and in which situation. Look at this. Someone who suffered rejection from conception before this child was born, and someone who have suffered rejection maybe went for an interview believing that you had all the qualification, that you are the best person for this position, but never got the position. Someone better than you got the position, and you felt like you were rejected, like you are not good enough. That type of rejection, it's totally different from someone who suffered rejection from conception. The impact of these two, it's totally different. It can be so easy for the one who has suffered rejection from a job she or he was looking for here compared to the one who have suffered rejection from conception. The worst rejection is the one that happens from conception. This is whereby two people meet, they are not of age maybe to get a baby, they are not ready for it, they have not planned anything, things happen, and the girl just realizes that she's pregnant. In most cases, the responsible guy rejects this girl together with the baby. Maybe they are very young and even maybe they are in school. So this kid have started experiencing rejection from conception. First, from the dad. He is no longer in the picture, and now here the mom is 9 good months with a baby that she never wanted, something growing in her womb that she never planned for. Maybe whatever happened was a mistake. Maybe she even never liked this guy. Maybe it's even from rape. You can imagine what goes through the mind of this girl for the 9 months that she's carrying this child. I tend to believe that our bodies, the hormones just have a way of getting this rejection, transporting or delivering this rejection that is in the mind of the mother to the unborn child. This child starts experiencing rejection from the mother's womb. When the baby is born, in some cases, these mothers, they even refuse to breastfeed this child. The child now becomes a serious burden to the mother. She can't be moving around the way she used to, the way she would like to. She has to provide for this child, maybe not even working. The little she gets, she has to share with the baby. She has to be there for the baby, to go for the clinics, to, all these things. And this was not planned for. So the chain of rejection continues. And now it's even more than the way it was when the baby was in the womb. Because now it's physical. This is a real human being that is here. Sometimes you'll find out that this baby cries a lot and the mother is not even bothered. The mother is not even concerned. Why? She feels like this is a burden. This is something that I didn't want. This is something that if only I had an option, I could opt out. But it's a baby now that will be here for the rest of my life. So rejection continue growing as this baby grows. And this child goes to school. Teachers and the people who work in school can tell you, it's so easy to differentiate a child that comes from a very lovely background and a child that comes from a background of rejection. The ones who comes from a good family, the ones who comes from a lovely family, these kids, they have self-esteem. It's very high for them. These kids, they have courage. These kids, they do well in school. But as the ones who are rejected, it's totally opposite. These kids, they don't do well in school. They don't believe in themselves. They get angry very fast. They get frustrated very fast. Just something small makes them frustrated. They have trust issues. They separate themselves. You know, all these things. And I thank God that nowadays, especially in private schools, teachers, because they deal with very few kids in class, it's so easy for them to realize this. It's so easy for them to notice this. If the parent is approached and is positive, it's so easy to help this child. It's so easy to start the journey of healing of this child at such an early stage. But if it is not recognized at this stage, you grow up with it. And these are the things that they come to hate you when you grow up, when you are mature enough, when you are dating, maybe even you have family, when maybe even you are dating, you start seeing things and realizing there is a chain of things that they just repeat themselves. And you wonder what is happening, what happens. You just realize in life you are not happy like other people. You don't enjoy life like other people. And you start wondering, what's the issue? These are the signs that can help you to know whether you suffer from rejection. The way you take things, like when someone approaches you and tells you that you have done something wrong, or you have done something that in a way that it was not supposed to be done, how do you take that? Do you get angry with these people? Do you take it positively? And you start a journey of changing, and you do things in a different way, the way they are supposed to be done. When you have a misunderstanding with someone, how do you take it? Do you take it personal? Do you take it so deep that for years you'll never speak to these people, and maybe you're working together, maybe there are people in your family that you cannot avoid? How do you take it? Do you take it like these people hate me? That's why she said that I have not done something good the way it's supposed to be done? Do you take it personal? Or do you solve these issues and you move on like nothing happens? Do you keep on keeping things in yourself, carrying burdens that you're not supposed to carry? Do you have trust issues? When someone comes your way and tells you, hey, you are smart, or hey, wow, I love your hair, how do you feel about it? If you doubt, whenever people tells you something good about yourself, maybe these are the results of suffering from rejection. Like, for example, in a relationship, do you trust your partner? Or you always find yourself doubting what they are saying, doubting their actions, thinking maybe they have someone else, thinking maybe they are using you. If this is what happens to you, then you might be suffering from rejection. How is your self-esteem? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that something good can come out of yourself? Are you courageous enough to face people, to face things? If you suffer from all these things, the chances are very high you might be suffering from rejection. It might be a result of rejection that you suffered when you were young, rejection that you suffered maybe from conception, rejection that you suffered maybe when you are growing up. But the best thing about it is God loves you unconditionally. The love of God is unconditional. People might not love you. People might measure on your weaknesses, the impact of rejection that you have suffered. But God takes you in a different way. God loves you the way you are. To God, you are perfect. God is ready to change your life. The first step that you can take to get out of these, after realizing and accepting that you have a problem, it's to pray for God's guidance. It's to pray for God's assistance as you heal. It's to pray for God's healing. Remember the story of Rachel and Leah in the Bible. Rachel was loved. She was this perfect girl. She was beautiful. She had a man. Totally opposite of what Leah was going through. Leah was not loved. Leah was not beautiful. Leah was hated. But God used Leah in a great way. In the book of Matthew chapter 1 verse 16, the Bible explains to us that Jesus came from the tribe of Judah. Judah came from Leah, the one who was rejected by Jacob, the one who was not beautiful, the one who never thought anything good could come from her. So there is a way that God uses people who are rejected, that God uses people who have suffered rejection. Look at the story of Jabez also in the Bible. Jabez was named after pain. Even the mother knew this child was just pain. But Jabez cried to God and God answered his prayers. This is enough evidence to us that we might have suffered from rejection, but the moment we go to God and cry to him, he is ready to save our lives. He is ready to turn our lives around. He is ready to transform our lives. He is ready to change our lives in a better way. So guys, if you know that you have suffered from this, it is not the end, but the beginning of a new journey, the beginning of a better life, the beginning of something great. Because the enemy uses the impact of rejection to make sure that we will never get to our purpose, to make sure that we'll never enjoy life, to make sure that we'll never be the people that God had planned. But the good news are here. God is ready to hear us out. God is ready to transform our lives. If you have realized that you have gone through this, it is our time. It is not late. It is your season to change, to become someone better, to get to where the devil wanted to hinder you from. This is part 1 of rejection. This was just an introduction. Hoping to see you soon, guys, as we do part 2 and part 3. Even if we go to part 4 and 5, well and good. May God bless you so much. If you have not subscribed, please do. You can share this, and I believe that you get something from this video. This video was worth it. From Dudal here, Nita Lover. After that issue, God bless you.